Good evening, everyone. We'll test the boxes out. Make sure I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Good deal. We got working boxes. Florida Man will be here just shortly. He's finishing up a few things. Apparently, we started. The door opens at 11. The show starts at 11:30. Is what he told me. Hopefully, y'all can still hear me. I'm going to use my headphones. So we just got to chitter chat until then. Florida Man will be here at 11:30. You can hear me? Okay. Sometimes these things don't connect quite right. Katie, that's wild of you to say that. I bet my inhaler will be extra tonight with the headphones going. Hello, Master Chief. Yeah, y'all share the live out and please start liking it because I know that we're gonna get reported. I know. Hey, Rammer Jammer, how are you? Michigander, Miss Chaos, Marilyn, hello. Grams. Thank you all for liking the live. I appreciate it. Ambi, are you not going to talk to me while you're up here? Are you just going to sit there silently?
I'm trying to figure something out because if somebody requests, I'm not able to bring them up here, and it keeps saying to open my settings.
Alexa,
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, there shouldn't be too many requests because it's probably going to be just me and Florida Man for a good portion of it.
I,
Because he has a lot of receipts to put up.
Trish, you just never mind.
It's not the end of the world. I can should I like reset your settings for modding ability? I wonder if that would help.
Oh, I'll comment. Hold on.
I already got it. Let's see. Ambi, I'm going to manage you, it says. Yeah, it says that you should be able to manage guests.
Miss Chaos, you come up here. You come upstairs.
Y'all, we are waiting on Florida Man. He will be here shortly. In just a couple minutes. He's like getting the rest of his stuff together. I'm just hosting his receipt live, essentially. Just so you know. That's what's going on. He just sent me a message, apparently 4 minutes. He'll be in. Everyone wait with bated breath. Oh. And off she goes. And here comes Miss Chaos now.
I fell to the streets.
Hello, Patty.
Wow, Amber sucks at this job.
You know what, Miss Chaos?
Did you fall in the streets?
I did.
You're supposed to entertain everyone until Florida Man gets here.
Well, what do you want us to do?
I don't know. You need to put on a show or something.
We could do hand hearts. I apologize.
You want a kiss?
Sing and dance.
Sorry.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Is Katie gonna get up here and talk
Hey,
in
I will
her
drop down
accent?
and I'll drop down in just a minute. I just wanted to say hi to Pookie in the comments who's joking with me about my labia. He happens to be Coach. But no, hey Pookie, let's talk about my labia. You seem to have some opinions, Coach. That's all I want to say.
Okay,
Okay,
Florida Man is
goodbye.
now in the box, so
Okay,
y'all have to
gotta
disconnect.
go.
All right, gotta go.
I'm not
Love
leaving.
y'all.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah, you are.
I want Florida Man to tell me that I
Don't
have
make
to
me throw
leave.
you guys out.
I'm next to Florida Man, so we can make hand hearts together.
I just wanted to kiss him through the boxes. Wow,
I
y'all are
don't know if he's
boring.
down for that.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, my husband doesn't feel well. Okay, Amby, I'll see you in a minute. Get out of the box. Don't make me throw you out. There we go.
All right, this is so much easier with two people up here. So much more focus on the screenshots. We're gonna go one thing at a time, or one topic at a time. And
Okay.
there can be
I'm gonna
three.
mute so you can talk and I don't make no noise.
Okay, if you have a comment, go ahead. But
Cool.
it
Yeah,
can be
I'm gonna give you the floor.
it can be 3 boxes because Coach can come up at any time. I'll give him a minute to decide if he wants to.
Well, maybe he will decide to after he sees like what you're gonna talk about. I mean, that might be the case too.
He could. Where do we start? Who wants to start with what?
You can start. You have the whole show at your fingertips. I don't have any of the show, so
Okay.
that's on you.
We're gonna start with the Nunya Biz account. And I think I'm just going to get right to that. Let me get the video. Let me get that picture. It's a little unorganized, so give me a second. Okay. We noticed the username, right? Standing on Business One. Next one. Notice the username. Standing on Business One. Everybody see it?
shut her down. We'll get Tiffany back in there and talk to her about what we're going to do.
That sounded an awful lot like Coach. Let me get this screenshot. Yeah. Well, I just put a voice to the account and a username to the account. It is 100% Coach. Let's move on to the veteran part. Give me a second.
I'll say that that was something that people wanted to be proven, and I think that kind of sealed that. I don't know that you could ask for any further proof.
It's not going to be as entertaining as last night's, but it's just right to the point. So we can put it to bed and show everybody that Coach is in fact lying. Ooh. Alright, so this picture right here is Coach catfishing Amy. That is what Coach sent to her to, show what he looked like. I guess he was in his military man turned baseball coach era. Because the text message that Here for This showed yesterday was in this time frame. That's what everybody thought Coach looked like. How would we make him bigger? Can we change the layout?
I'm looking to see if I can right now.
Okay. We might have to add one more person. Well, maybe. If only Coach would come up.
I can't find where to flip how that works. I don't know.
That just made me smaller. Is there an option to put me in a big box now?
Here for this. Does that mess with the layouts now? Do you have more options?
Okay, wait. Fixed panel. Let's see if that works.
There we go.
There we go. How about that?
Hey, Miss
Now
Chaos
it's gonna
got the
be hard to
welcome
read
box
the
too.
chat.
It says,
Florida Man, is that good?
yeah, that should be good.
It might screw up the chat ability to read the chat for a minute on some pictures, but I guess we can live with that. I've never
So
lied. These are fake messages. Okay, Pookie. That's
my
Coach,
fan account.
obviously.
It says,
No, these aren't. There's no way anybody faked these. That's ridiculous.
no. And the military pictures yesterday, I will get at.
Again, I don't appreciate you calling people a liar. That's ridiculous. We're going to turn the chat off for a minute just so that it doesn't interrupt the ability to see the pictures.
Okay, this one here. This is Stop Child Abuse, which that is his Discord name, or was. I don't know what it is now. Talking to Dennis. Dennis, Hoa, you were a staff sergeant. Stop child abuse. Retired E7. Now that doesn't sound like he's insinuating that anything. That sounds like he says he retired in E7. And he absolutely did not. So for everybody who has listened to him say, oh, I signed up and I went to prison. He didn't even go to prison. He went to county jail. I'm searching for more. I was bombarded with some last minute stuff. So
What he went to jail for was several different theft cases. It looks like breaking into automobiles,
and stealing a vehicle.
and I'm sure that Mike has those. Yeah, he has the screenshots for that as well.
I do. We will either get to those or I'll just send those about. Because I forgot to mark out his like personal stuff on those. So let me get the next picture up.
Yeah, moderators, if he puts up a picture where you think the comments are going to be in the way, then just turn us off for that and then turn them back on if y'all don't mind. I appreciate that. Y'all are fabulous.
There's kind of one. That's the Stop Child Abuse account. I'll be live on Coach Line 00. The Stop Child Abuse account is the one that said, he retired in the E7 and pretended to be in the military for a very long time. His story changes based off who he's around and what he can get away with. Let me get the next one. Might just be easier to do it this way. All right, this is Coach. Why did you send that screenshot? Well, you guys can read it. Nope. Probably not going to be easier. Coming to get you is also Coach. It was in the video on the None Your Business account talking. Here's the next one. You guys can screenshot this stuff too. Said we wasn't going to bounce topics, but we bouncing topics. Let's get to the groceries. So Coach also had an account called Yappin'. Sorry, I got a cough. So it says, yes, I got to stay focused on baby C, which I'm out with family and on the phone as we speak. I will tell you, you absolutely cannot share this, that I sent a fake grocery order to protect the person who told me I had to cancel the order. That's all I'll say about it. Don't want her getting no shit over this. Now, that person didn't tell him to not send it. The other person in this chat, great person from what I see, said, Coach, you just admitted to me what everyone is questioning. If you come clean about it, this would be over. So this is what it's all about. Now I know this information. You are not telling anyone, and asked me to say nothing. Asked me to not say anything. You put me in a bad spot. So it's what he does to people. He puts people in bad spots. There's a lot more of that conversation too.
Angie, there's proof that he was not in the same prison as BTK as well. We will get to that.
We will get to that. This is the receipt that he gave him. Instacart, all that good stuff. But this is the receipt that somebody found online because it was posted by William H. and uploaded on January 11th. So that's the fake receipt that he showed.
That receipt was found under Instacart review. That's where
Yes.
that was at when it was Googled. Yes, I just wanted to point that out.
Here's Coach pandering for the money for the groceries. Cash App right there. He gonna need it if anybody's feeling generous. I probably want it. You won't get it back. Well, one of you might not get it back.
I also want to point out that that's the Cash App that's in his bio that he says he doesn't actually have access to, that it goes directly to his team, but also the Cash App that he used to collect this money for the groceries with.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that was spoken about before because when he was, in Scam Busters, we, don't really support people putting Cash Apps in their bio. And when he was questioned about that, he said, I don't even have access to that Cash App account. That all goes directly to my baseball team. But yet, that was the Cash App that he used to collect this grocery money. I keep all details. I'm very good at that.
Then this was him too. Since he had access to that money and it doesn't just go to his baseball team, it's the same Cash App under a different name, pretending to be for a baseball team until Coach gets in a box and says otherwise.
Yes, Coach, I do. You already know this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I apologize to Dennis. I think it's only fair. Dennis was right about Coach the whole time. And if I can say that, all of you can say that. This is Coach saying this. Would you like a refund? I'm sending another grocery order for Colt tomorrow. They refused the last one. They didn't refuse the last one because he kept the money and tried to pass a fake receipt. But then there's excuses. Refund. They aren't with their aunts. Shouldn't need any food. The Cash App that's going to let me return the full 60 because of the fees taken out for transferring. Well, if he covered the whole grocery order that he said he did, what would be the issue with covering 2.75% on a fee on $60? Probably because he spent the money. Oh, there is no. Well, I can't say there is no Coach supporters, but
Yes,
and
Beagle
Bliss,
Mama. That is the same Coach with the Step Up 1.0 account.
yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you're good. And Bliss, Maryland, Virgo didn't know much about it. But I mean, Coach kind of fucked him over. So I mean, they'll have a chance to come up and talk if they want to. No pressure. Is Samuel in here?
Do you have the screenshot that I put up the other day of him telling me that with the pictures, you know which one, the pictures of the because that goes along with the whole
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm tired of being accused of falsifying this as well. And you can also see that that lines up with the same account that we've seen used before. KK, that's not on your 2024 bingo card. Yeah, mine either. Yeah, Samuel is in the comments there.
All right. The next picture is for him. I got a question for him. But this picture is
I
the
didn't think
picture that
about it, but I could find those pictures. I could Google reverse search those photographs and probably find who actually posted them. I just thought about that.
didn't.
I may do that tomorrow.
Well, when people trust people, they normally don't try to fact check them. And Coach is pretty good at getting
Coach sent
people.
you those photos? You hear this in this comment? Coach sent me those photos. Too
That's
stunned to speak. I'm having
that's
problems speaking.
yeah, that's another topic.
We don't have to tell who that is, but
Yeah.
okay, so you have that already. Okay. He showed me too. I'll tell you about it. Oh my God. Okay. So the
All
other
right.
night when I was getting called out for being a liar, everybody had seen those pictures before and been sent the same ones. Wow.
Samuel, what is this? Arby's is my favorite fast food place. I always get the half pounder. Have you ever tried their fish sandwich? Okay, I'll stop. um,
Samuel wants to know, no, but why is that on there? He hasn't tried. I asked my husband if there was a fish sandwich at Arby's, and he said yes. I didn't know that.
yeah.
I'm out of the loop.
I guess so. I got a rush of screenshots like minutes before this. That's why it's so messy. And it kind of messed everything up. And that was just there. And I was like, oh, it's an opportunity to advertise Arby's fish sandwich. So is Leper in here? Because if Leper's in here, I'm going to need Leper to take a box. If we could get Leper in here and he can take a box, we can pass over this for the moment. And once he gets in the box, okay.
All you have to do is request. We'll put you up. It's not a problem. And maybe they don't want to. I don't know.
Well, I need
I don't
him
think.
to say what happened to him today. Because I heard something was said, and I would like to disprove that to the best of my ability. If anyone sees him say no or something, let me know.
Someone said he was here, that he was in here.
Okay. So this is just another one of Coach's accounts. Positive Awareness 1. Close, a NOS energy drink guy. Coach being a baby. His time has come, y'all. I agree. His time has come. I've never done this before, so you might need to suggest some things.
He just responded in the chat and said, what?
You mind hopping in a box? I do.
Florida man would like you in a box, if you don't mind for a moment. Apparently there's something he needs to show you that
Well,
applies to you directly.
yes, applies to him directly.
Yes.
All right, can you explain how you got doxxed?
I was in Coach's Live and people came in with my addresses, their name.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I have no evidence, I have no proof whatsoever, but I have called the coach a liar all night for the, 20 minutes I've been on. Called him out. The None Your Biz account is him. The voice is him. If you would like to hear it, I can replay it.
No, I wasn't here.
Okay. He did it to her when the drama between me and Dennis was dying down. He did it to you because his drama was dying down.
Okay, so you're saying Coach doxed me.
Exactly. That is what I'm saying. That is what I'll stand by. If you still want to think it was me and Virgo, you're more than welcome to, but I can guarantee you Virgo would never do anything like that. And, I've never had anything against you. Why would I? I would also own it. Sheena's absolutely right.
What?
I said Sheena's right. I would own it. I've owned far worse than throwing somebody's address out there.
I know.
The exact same thing happened to somebody else when the drama was dying, and it just so happened to happen to you after me and Dennis started to make steps towards not being assholes to each other. It is just something to think about. I'm gonna get some more pictures. You can say anything you want while you're up here.
I have to agree with what the chat is saying that Virgo would not do that. I think that that is not something that she would do as well. Somebody's asking to hear the voice again. If you, we can probably replay that when he's done with this next part.
I can replay it real quick.
Oh, do you have that right available? I wasn't sure.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't either, Yo Mama. I don't think Virgo would do that either.
No, Virgo would
She
never do
seems to
that.
be a very nice, helpful person. I just don't picture her doing that to anybody.
Nope. No, absolutely not.
I don't know who said Virgo did it, but maybe they're saying that. Did Coach say that Virgo did that? Is that who was saying that?
No, no one told me Virgo did it.
It
Oh,
got
okay.
back to
I
me.
just. Oh, that got back to you that way. Okay.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure someone told someone something. And it may not have been told to Leper, which is fine. If he says that he wasn't told it, I believe him. But it wasn't Virgo. It wasn't me. the circumstances show it was Coach. Did I play the wrong one? Oh.
This is the voice of the Nunya Biz account.
I'll be going live off the other account later. I'm getting this 2,000. I'm shutting her down. We'll get Tiffany back in here and talk to her about what we're going to do.
Jen, it wasn't settled. It wasn't solved. That right there was the piece that was missing. The question was, is there a voice to the Nunya Biz account? There is now a voice to the Nunya Biz account. It is the one that was pretending to be a veteran while begging for money. Yes, he did say he retired as an E7. I can show that picture again as well. My Discord is in one of my videos, and you can message me there, and I'll send you everything. Oh, okay.
So is this the proof you were going to bring me last night, Florida?
No. I had to look into it, and I had to confirm and make sure. I did notice Lisa said some comment like, you know who he's going to come back and say it was. And you said, yeah. And I figured you guys were assuming I was just going to blame Coach without anything. Now, I can't blame him 100% of the way. But how come when the drama dies down twice, it happens the same way twice with the same sentence?
You bring a case, bro. That's all I can say.
All right, what are we missing? The prison stuff. All right, this is of course, the younger Coach, but all that stuff. It's all misdemeanors. I'm not going to show it for too long. It's nothing really. His discharge date was March 1st. You know, all of that stuff. All of that stuff. It's just misdemeanors. He never went to an actual like big boy prison like he tries to say. He tries to say he went to prison with Here for This knows more about that part while I'm finding those.
Well, I was getting messages yesterday that he was live in the morning talking about how he was in prison with BTK, bind, torture, unalive person. And that guy is in a maximum security state prison called El Dorado Correctional Center. He was in a county prison, so he was not delivering any trays to this person.
Well, Is there any doubt that he pretended to be in the military? If anybody has any questions about that. So we can sit here for a fact and say that Coach pretended to be in the military.
They're asking to see the military picture again. Are you talking about the one with the pictures or the one where he
The
says
one
he
where,
was an E7?
oh, give me 1 second on that. That one might be on the green screen.
So, Florida man,
Yeah, what's up?
me and you, do you think Coach would dox me in your mind?
Yes, I do. Without a doubt. No questions asked.
I'll tell you the other odd thing about it is that that was his big topic of discussion was how this doxing was so wrong. And I think that may have played into it too to up the ante on that conversation to have someone come dox you in the chat while that was happening. I mean, I'm just putting that out there as a possibility. I mean, don't you think it's odd that that's his topic of conversation and then that happens at that time? I mean, it just seems weird to me. Why wouldn't they have done that to you 2 weeks ago, a week ago? You know, I just don't understand why it was that particular day when that was his big thing that he was talking about. I just think that that correlates too oddly.
Mhm.
Also, he doesn't care about
And
the
I'll
people.
say that, past behavior definitely predicts future behavior, and he lied about all these other things, receipts, money, service, to all these people, even who he was, what he looked like. It's just everything has been a farce. So I'm just saying that, I don't see these other people lying that people are trying to say possibly did it, but, you know, this might be a lesson in not calling people a liar while you're lying. Just saying.
And I'll add to that, he doesn't care about the people around him. Everybody that supported him, Bliss, Ange, Marilyn, even Virgo, he fucked them over. Some of them more than once. With not a care in the world. Just throw them away. The new ones will come in. Is his exact attitude on everybody. He did it to Dennis. He did it to whoever in Dennis's group too. He did it to, so many people. All right, now I'm gonna go find that picture.
Katie, as soon as he's done talking, then I'll pop you up here. Oh, he does
Uh,
have another video to play. You would be right about that.
well, once I'm done up here, we're gonna give a couple of other people a first opportunity to come up and talk about Coach if they want to. Alright, so there's the where he said he retired as an E7.
Y'all take your screenshots of that if you need them.
Yeah, that's not saying that he imagined or wanted to or anything. That's saying he did retire as an E7. There's no insinuation. It is right there. And that has been posted on Dennis's page for like 2 weeks now. I seen that thing 2 weeks ago and I'm like, ooh, he got him. But apparently not. I mean, my bad, Dennis. That is not a fake message. Not in the slightest bit.
Somebody's asking if you can show the ones that show the actual pictures. I'm assuming you mean the military pictures, KK? They're not actual pictures of him, but I mean, we can show them to you again.
Well, Coach is still talking, but that's okay.
The alleged photos, please, so she can screenshot. She's asking.
What alleged
I
photos?
guess we have two different ones of those. Do you want the
Oh,
military
yours?
alleged ones or the ones? Yeah, I think that might be what she wants. I can send that to you, KK, if you need it. But do you want the other alleged photos that she sent to Amy? Is that the ones you're referring to?
I got it all here. I'm gonna turn my camera.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure we're getting you what you want exactly. That's all. Yeah, I can send you this screenshot, KK, if that's not clear enough. I have that. But these were messages sent to me.
And then what are the other ones? Oh, the one do they want the one where he pretended to be somebody else or catfished him?
I mean, you can put that up there if you want.
Let me find it. They're everywhere. But if I miss anything or anybody just wants a copy of it, by all means, just message me on Discord. Can't do it here, so my messages are suspended. No surprise there. Let's see.
KK, I just sent that to you in Facebook as well, so you have the clear picture of it.
Sometimes it takes a second. I got the camera face backwards. That's fine. Okay. Sorry, I don't do this much. I'm not a professional at exposing people. It's not as entertaining. Now I know why Dennis yells at everybody. Y'all's probably bored as I think he's just much more excited than I am about it. If the thing wants to work. There we go. That's him catfishing. That's what everybody thought he looked like for the longest time. Well, at least for the last 2-3 weeks, there really was no dirty work because nobody cared. But, I mean, I think that's it. I mean, I think we can let...
No, you have a video to play of Katie, but that's why she's in the...
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's what she's...
I forgot about that. Fair enough. I do. Let me find it.
Are you all right with me popping her in a box while you play that?
I kind of wanted to give everybody else a chance to talk and then open up the floor. I mean, she can play it if she wants.
Somebody's asking you if you what does Coach really look like? Do you have a picture, an actual picture?
Oh, well, I said I wouldn't be mean, but yeah, sure. I got this picture. That's where he allegedly got doxxed. It wasn't really a full-on doxing. That is a phone number to an animal shelter. I see why they did that now. But no, if you... I mean, okay, hold on. I can actually go to an actual picture of it like that. Why not? No, I can't. Never mind. It'll show other people. Just imagine a butterball turkey fresh out the oven. That is what Coach looks like. As nice as I can talk about him. Sorry for that. But yeah, I think if Ange, Bliss, Virgo, Raina, Marilyn, if they want to come up, give them a box, let them talk. I'm going to mute my mic. And I think we should just give it to them.
No, you have to play your video first of his comments about Katie.
Oh, comments about Katie. Okay. Oh, okay.
If Katie says my video.
Okay.
Y'all strap in for this. This is not good.
It is. That is not good. All right. Once we stop getting messages, because they go to the phone that I'm using.
Who's ever messaging Florida Man, please stop.
Another thing is that the reason why Cupid got blocked was because she was hanging.
Okay, hold on.
Katie's meat curtains. Yeah, because she peed one night. It was disgusting.
I'm gonna start it over. So I think somebody texted to be a dick.
She just walked into the other room while she talked to the FBI.
Well, another thing is that the reason why Cupid got blocked was because she was hanging out in Katie's meat curtains.
Katie's meat curtains.
Yeah, because she peed one night. It was a disgusting sound.
Wait a minute.
Then you could hear the meat curtains flapping.
Stop it.
I swear to you.
Did it sound like a balloon losing air?
What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much. It sounded like a...
Maybe she farted or something.
That would be a queef at that point.
All
Y'all
right.
need to stop.
Now I would like to say that Virgo texted him and said if he said anything like that again, she could not be in a box with him anymore because that was inappropriate. Sometimes people up in the box might be, I don't know, a little shocked somebody says something and maybe not know how to react. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that one. We're going to get an account in here called Katie's Meat Curtains. There is another round of text messages that I almost forgot about, but it is an important one. There's just so much going on that apparently he called Dennis something again, and
I want to say I don't blame anybody who would have been in those boxes because I would have been thrown off too.
yep, I don't
I
blame
wouldn't have
Rob.
known how to react to that if someone said that. And no one can control what another adult says. And I don't blame some of the reactions they had because it would have been shocking to say the least. And I don't know how I would have reacted. I freely admit I may have laughed out of almost nervousness, so I can understand that reaction. And Samuel, aka fuck this, says he was not in a box, and I just want everybody to
He
know
was
that
not.
that's what he says.
No, Sam was not in a box. Let me get to these. I'm getting close to it. Okay. So this is a round of text messages that really make Coach look like a piece of trash. Fuck.
So
Snapchat.
Florida man.
Yeah.
So all those names that came in the chat that day, I got doxxed. Do you think that was Coach making all those names?
How many?
Oh fuck, 3 or 4.
How many were in there at the same time? Just one at
They
a
all
time?
come in, yeah, they all come one at a time.
Yeah, Coach has got 2 phones. If it's one at a time, normally if it's like an attack, it's a group effort, not just one. And then here comes another one. And then here comes another one. Yeah. Okay, I got another round of text messages to show everybody. I just gotta find them real quick. They're not too hard to find. I have to learn how to use this. I swear I used to work on electronics for a living. Now I don't care enough to know how to use them. I don't even have a TV. This is my TV. But yeah, Leper, if it would have been 2 or more at a time, sure, I would have been like, well, maybe not. But if it was just one at a time, said the exact same thing as the other person, which, if that's true, that's if he did that to her, he straight up blamed Dennis for that. And he tried to get everybody to blame Dennis for it. And that means he was behind all the accounts with Raina, the ones with the old pictures and the names and all that, because they came in one at a time too. They also came in at a time when the drama was dying down. But Raina was right in my house when they came in, and I looked at her and I said, don't react to that. I think that's Coach. And she's like, it probably is. Because it was 2 accounts. One came in, said something. Coach pointed it out. It got booted. Another one came in shortly after. Coach said something. It got booted. And if he did it to himself, I wouldn't put it past him.
So Raina believes Coach done that to her too. Okay.
That is up to her if she wants to come up here and say something on it. I'm not trying to coach any situations along. No pun intended on the coach. Trying to find the first message of this thing. Oh, I got it. Okay. So this is a conversation that really kind of messed it up. This is a conversation that really annoyed me.
Katie, when he's done, I will let you in.
So this is Coach. It's a leaked conversation. Well, this is a video that he made, and that is what he put. We all got that? Allie isn't a victim ever. She is a faker. Well, I mean, honestly, if you know Allie, you know Allie. If you don't, you don't. I'm not going to get into it, but Coach's bitch. This is Sheena talking shit to Coach. No, I can't read it. I'm not a public speaker. Just take some screenshots and read it later. Or I'll send them to you. Or someone will send them to you. They're pretty much public knowledge now. Everybody's got them. Everybody's going to have everything. So if there's ever any doubt on Coach, somebody's going to be able to throw something up about him. I'd hate to argue with Sheena.
Because, well, I ain't gonna. Never mind.
Oh no, good.
Oh,
I know it's disappointing. I got over my disappointment like not that long ago. Well, a long time ago actually, because I knew from the beginning he was shady with the groceries. But I thought when Cupid was his mod that she made him take care of that. At least that's what I was told. But I was told that by Coach. It turned out to be not so true.
I just was going to ask you about the messages that were sent about Kevin's mother and Kevin that I
I feel
sent
like
you
I should.
this afternoon, I believe.
I feel like she should get those privately. I feel her and her son has gotten enough public attention, and I will not be a part of that.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever you want to do with them, I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
It's
I just
very
wasn't sure if
disparaging.
you'd forgotten about it, that's all.
No, I was gonna say something about her adding me to Discord or you sending them to her because Coach was being fake the whole time. He didn't care about either one of you. He just wanted you there for attention. Well, Glazing Dennis, watch out. Next week he'll make an account and try to lie and be Dennis. He'll make an account and say he took Coach down. Coach will. They argued for a minute, apparently.
So that 19-year-old girl was all fabrication?
No, but Dennis apologized for that.
Okay.
I think the point that he's trying to make here is that Coach claimed that she was not a victim. Am I correct on that?
Coach claimed that Allie wasn't in any situation.
Well, I saw the messages that Allie got, and she most definitely was, but she chose to deal with it a little bit differently. And I cannot say anything bad about Allie. She has been one of the most level-headed, down-to-earth 19-year-olds I do believe I've ever dealt with. I think she may be 20 now because she recently had a birthday, if I'm not mistaken.
And I'm not one to not follow through on my word. When I say something, I do it. And if Coach attacks any one of them women, any one of his old mods, Ange, Bliss, Virgo, Raina, Marilyn, if he attacks Allie, if he attacks anybody, I'm just going to email all of this to all the people above him at his job. And, yeah. So, if he even has it. Just in case he's listening.
I thought he was an independent contractor.
He thought he was what?
I thought he was like a contractor or something.
No, he was a baseball coach. So that was the end of that. So yeah, no, I mean, what did he tell you he did for a living?
Well, he said he done side jobs and he was a coach.
Oh, so he was pretending to be Dennis and do what Dennis does and be a baseball coach. That's a new one because he's told people that he's fortunate enough that his wife works at a pharmaceutical plant that makes insulin and he doesn't have to work. Then he said his wife was a nurse and he didn't have to work. Then he said he was a baseball coach. His wife is a cashier at the pharmacy. And that's about as far as it goes. Not saying that that's a bad job. It's just something you ain't got to lie about.
Yeah.
He probably got in trouble for taking on a job he couldn't do and couldn't pay for it. Because it's so rare that somebody gets in trouble for working without a license. He probably said he could do something.
Samuel, are you serious? He mines gold in Alaska. What? Yeah, are you good with boxes now? I think somebody who said that they wanted to take a box. Mama Hook, I think. Was that it?
No, for Ange, Bliss, Marilyn, Virgo, Raina. Let them get this out the way because they were the ones that were close to him most recently. If they want to come up, if they don't want to come up, it's all good. But they all want to come up together and talk together. So, go ahead and request.
Are you good with me flipping the layout around?
Oh,
so
yeah.
We have more,
Yep.
Now I gotta remember how the hell I did that. How did I do that? Wait, I think it had to do with up here. Yeah.
Me and Leopard can drop if we need more boxes.
Well, I don't want you to forget to share the messages of what Coach said about me. I've been trying to tell you to do that for a minute.
Which ones?
I mean, all of it.
How about we save that just as a looming threat over Coach, that if he does retaliate against any of us,
It's already been
that
out there. It's already been out there. It's already been out there.
has it?
Yeah.
Do you have them?
No. You have them.
Oh, fuck, hold on.
You and your unorganization.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dennis showed him the other night.
Yes. He's someone who first shown that to me. That's where I first heard about it.
Okay, I know which ones. The ones that look fake but aren't.
Yeah, the ones that look like they're fake, but they're actually not. They're real.
Okay, yeah, I got those. I have multiple sets. I have sets of messages that's never been seen before. That is about a couple of women that I don't want to share, but I will with them privately. I'm looking.
I know you're slow.
It's not that I'm slow. There's just so damn much in my phone.
You're an old man.
You don't know how many people I'd be fucking with.
All the screenshots start to look alike. They all
do.
start looking alike. I know that feeling.
They really
And it was like, did I screenshot it before I went at this person, or did I screenshot it after I went at this person?
I always give him crap. It's fine.
Okay, I got him.
Michigander, did you get your ability to make comments taken away again?
Fuck that. We don't want to see that. Be up here looking like Coach.
I just give him crap.
All right, here we go.
Oh, let me give you a bigger box.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the ones that I was talking about.
So these aren't fake. I received the whole conversation from the person. They just cut their name out and put his comments together.
He had me fooled on that one for sure.
Yeah. No, he denied these like harshly. But there was no denying him, you know, once the screen recording came through and his voice message was played. Kind of like there's no denying the Nunya Biz account, because nope, Sue, yes, everybody was so critical to Dennis because Coach just
He twisted the narrative and turned it on everybody else.
He just lied and manipulated people. I think they were up there long enough.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, if you need me, let me know. I'm gonna mute.
It's okay. It's okay. I already had my moment about it when I first found out about it, so. I don't really have much to say on it, other than just I'm super embarrassed that he fooled me, not only me, but everyone else that had his back and that went to bat for him. he lied continuously. And then the moments of trying to turn us against each other obviously didn't work in his favor. I feel kind of dumb because when I seen those messages that Dennis had shared, for those were the ones that I seen from Dennis for the first time, and I was mad about it at first. I then went to Coach to confront him about it. He told me that they were not fake. The longer I looked at them, I thought, oh, well, this could be fake. And then I find out later, because I believed Coach, and I went with the assumption that they were fake, and found out they were real not even a week before this. And so I kind of screwed Dennis over on that one too, because he was trying to show me and have my back, and I kind of pushed that aside. I kind of put a wall over that, and I ended up believing
I just want to say that nobody should feel, you shouldn't feel dumb. You shouldn't. Um, you were trying to be a good friend. That's what you were trying to do. Um, I think a lot of people are going to have that feeling at first, but mind you, you were trying to be a good person. No one should feel, and you were being bamboozled by someone, and that's not your fault. Some people are really good at gaslighting and doing that to people,
yeah,
and he definitely was a deflector and a gaslighter.
and it's awful because it sucks because I have one of the mental issues that I do have is my autism, so social cues are very hard to pinpoint to me. So someone could literally lie to me straight face and I would never know the difference. And he had that at his advantage. He was able to lie to me and I was able to just believe whatever he said.
Well, he did that to a lot of people. You weren't the only one. Um, I mean, and that's what a lot of us have been saying. Uh, I mean, and I'll tell you what, last night I got real heated about, was that last night or the night before? I can't even remember. But I got real heated about the fact that he was going to say he didn't send me those pictures and that I was insinuating what those pictures were saying. You can't tell me that you were not saying you were in the military by sending me those pictures and then saying, like, should I be scared of this person? Like, look at me, I'm big and bad. That's not me insinuating, that's you insinuating that by sending those
And
with the comment that was there.
not only that, that bottom right photo is the same photo that he used as his profile picture on TikTok for the longest time when he was in the Scambusters group. I actually just got proof of that a minute ago. I got a screenshot of that. And I sent it to Florida Man.
Yeah, she did. Did you want me to show
But
it?
let's let Ange, Bliss, and Marilyn, I don't know what you guys have to say, but you're more than welcome to speak your mind.
Yeah, and you can show that real quick while they talk if you want.
Okay, I'm super nervous. I don't like talking. I don't even like being in the box, really. So here we go. Right. First, he did personally show me the military pics. When I told him that my daughter's boyfriend was in the Marines and he was about to come home, he's home now. He did show me those pics on a live. So I know that he did show those pics over and over. Here for this, I could not say anything in that live. That was my last live with him, and I was just trying to get out of there as unscathed as possible until he kept going and started talking bad about me. I was not going to mention anything. I just wanted out. I just wanted out. There's also with Munchie, he was very weird about when she was kicked out of the Discord. It was so weird because I was like, well, what happened to Munchie? What's going on with that? And he's like, well, He said that she was questioning him about the money even after he showed the proof and blah blah blah, and that she was on Team Dennis. And I was like, okay, I guess, and I just, that was a small lie, so I just went along with it. It's like a cult. It's like a cult. There's a small lie, and then the next lie is a little bigger. But you believed the first one, or you went along with it, so you go along with the next one, and then it's a little bigger each time. Each time. The first big lie he told that I recognized as a lie when I started to doubt him was he was hosting a live with Kevin's mom. And I'm good friends with her and I support her 100%. Like, she's been through so much. And he just disappeared during it and said that there was a plumbing emergency. And I'm not comfortable being in a box, and I'm not comfortable talking too much on the internet.
You're good. You can stop anytime you want.
No, I'm saying when this live was happening for Tiffany, and he left me in charge to run it. And I'm like, Coach, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not good at this. Like, I can't lead this conversation. I'm messaging him in Discord while this is all going on, and he's like, I'll be right back. And then he just disappeared, quit responding to my messages. And the next day I called him out on it, and I was like, that's really not cool that you just left us there. In fact, he left us there so long that his live paused and then ended without him ever showing up. And I'm like, if something came up, that's fine. Emergencies happen. I get it. But you have to let us know, so we can shut it down. I can't lead a live like that. That's just not my, it's not something I do. And he flipped out and was like, well, maybe there was a reason I did it. And I said, that sounds suspicious to me that you would say maybe there was a reason. If there was a reason, why didn't you let us know? And he said, he sent me a hospital picture and said that he had his gallbladder removed, but asked me not to tell anybody because he didn't want the attention. And I was like, okay, fine. I've had my gallbladder removed. I understand emergencies happen. And I let it go. But within 48 hours of that, and I'd say within 24 hours of that conversation, he was on a live and he had mentioned, to somebody in the comments, I finished a deck and a fence today. And I can tell you right now, he was either lying to that commenter or he was lying to me. Because 48 hours after having your gallbladder removed, you're not finishing decking or fencing. I don't care how good you are at managing pain. That's just not possible. And then the big fallout happened when I started to back away a little more, was when Katie lied about me and said that I sent her screenshots that I absolutely did not send. And she was telling him in that phone call that I had sent them. And he did not back me up. I backed him up every time, even knowing when he was lying or, seeing him lie. I still rode for him and I still defended him because I still thought he was a good guy. And he couldn't even say, hey, I know Ange didn't do this. Like, I don't understand why he wouldn't say that. But he didn't, and a lot of other lies were uncovered during that. Like, Amy didn't tell him not to send the groceries and stuff like that. I wasn't listening to that live because I was upset. And then the next live I wasn't listening to because I was upset. And then right after that the live where he was supposed to come and defend me, he swore he would come in and he would defend me and tell everybody that he knows. Because, it doesn't hurt me that Katie said what she said or did what she did, because I don't care what people I don't care about think about me. I did care what Coach thought about me and what he said about me. I don't anymore, but at the time I did. And then after that second live that he just didn't show up for, I ended up in the hospital actually 6 o'clock the next morning. I was in there for 5 days, and he's done nothing but throw that in my face to try to guilt trip me ever since that I ditched him for 5 days. And then I ditched him for a little while after that, but I have autoimmune conditions. I needed to concentrate on healing. It was not great. I was on a BiPAP machine for the first day, so that's one step before the ventilator. So, it wasn't great. And he's done nothing but throw that in my face ever since to try to guilt trip me to being on his side. And you know what? I still probably would have rode for him until he's messing with Bliss and Marilyn and Florida Man. And those are my friends. They're the people who had my back when he didn't. And so now I'm done. If he just didn't mess with the people who had my back. All right, Bliss, Marilyn, somebody help me here.
You're good. You did fine.
You're doing great. I'm proud of you.
I want to insert here that Ange, I wouldn't have expected you to take up or back me during that live. I knew that I was going into a lion's den when I jumped in that box. I mean, I knew what I was doing. I would fully accept everything that came with it. And I'll stand on my own when I know that I have proof and receipts that show that I'm telling the truth. Um, and take it for what it is, or don't believe me. I was fine with that, and I wouldn't expect of any of you to do that because I know the repercussions that would have brought. And so don't feel bad about that. I know you said something about that at the beginning, and no hard feelings. I honestly, I knew that I was right, and I knew that I had the receipts to prove that. And whether they wanted to, I mean, I'm not going to manufacture something like that. That's crazy to me. I didn't need to. Um, Obviously, I mean, it is what it is, and now we have all the proof all put together. We can see, but don't ever feel bad about that. I have no hard feelings. I mean, I think you're a fine person. I just
Right.
wanted you
Well,
to know that.
the thing is, I knew the truth at that point, and I wanted to say something, and I'm just I couldn't. And that's, he encouraged me. He kept encouraging me to talk about Katie and the meat flaps thing, and I'm just I don't I'm not a fan of Katie's. I've made no secret of that. I told her exactly why. I will handle my own, but I wasn't going to talk shit about her either. I think the worst thing I said in that was that it was gross that she peed on a live, and I don't think it's really gross, but I wasn't going along with the meat flap stuff, because I'm not going to lie.
Right. I mean, I get it. And I mean, and then putting people on the spot and kind of getting them in a corner, I mean, is I'll say this, it's no way to treat a friend. You know what I mean? I would never do that to anyone. And I'm sorry that you went through all that, and I hope you don't ever run into another person like that again. I really do. I hope that for everyone. I think everybody will come out of this a little bit smarter and quicker to recognize what they're dealing with. But whoever wants to talk next, Marilyn, Bliss, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Bliss, you wanna go? Bliss?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can go. Sorry, I'm just obviously super nervous. I fight for underdogs, right? I'd like to think that I have a big heart. I mean, everybody makes mistakes and nobody's perfect. But to fucking take accountability, dude. I mean, I've caught you in the simplest of lies. Even sending, you said on live just the other day that you sent Rain a security system, a Windows security system. That never was fucking sent. It's just the small things that just doesn't add up. And it's why are you continuing this snowball effect? I mean, there were things in the past. I obviously let it go, and kind of just swept everything under the rug and was, sucked in. Man, I thought he was a good dude until he started picking on my friends. And let me preface this by saying that Florida Man didn't coach us, haha, no pun intended. Um, we wanted to come up here. I mean, it's a lot. We brought him, defended him in comment sections, lives, everything. And he just booted us out, didn't care, blocked us, couldn't take accountability for nothing. I mean, if my friends can't hold me accountability or hold me accountable for anything, what's the point of having friends? Like Ange, Marilyn, Florida Man, Virgo, Raina, like y'all can call me out on my bullshit. I'd appreciate it. You know, we can have a civil conversation. But the fact that the other day, Florida Man tried to have a civil conversation with him and it went left and it's poor me. I'm being attacked. Florida Man's trying to split up all my friends. I mean, none of that actually happened. You know, especially when he had the phone call on the live and like he didn't protect any of us, none of us. He says he's all about protecting women. No, he's definitely not. Florida Man has protected women on 1,000 occasions, way more than Coach ever could. I mean, the silver lining is that I met a small group of people, and man, I hope we stay friends for life, like for real. I love y'all. And Coach, I know you're fucking listening. I'm done. I'm done being pulled into the drama. I'm over it. I'm out.
Security system thing. Yeah, he had said that he had sent me a security system for the place that I was moving to. This man did not even ever have my address to know where I lived. Right? And the only thing that he ever sent me was a link to a window alarm. That is it. He's never once sent me anything, or even told me that he wanted to send me anything. So the fact that he was trying to say, you know, act like this Hail Savior kind of knight in shining armor thing is bull. It's bull.
So, with me, I don't know why this is so fucking hard for me, but it is. I think it's because I really believed in him and really liked him and was forming and I really hope you are listening to this, Coach, because you just don't treat people like this. None of us in these boxes ever did anything to you to deserve this type of treatment. And this isn't see, Dennis was right. No, Dennis has his own mistakes and has done his own shit, but at least he's taken accountability for some stuff. You just refuse. And the lies you do and the things that you do, the lengths that you go to are so extreme that it's flabbergasting. Half the time my jaw is on the floor over the shit that you have done, that you have said, that you have participated in. And I can verify that he right away, when I met him, he right away said that the grocery receipts, he was protecting. It took him a bit to say who it was, not first, but it was Amy. One that said that she didn't want the money being sent because it wouldn't look good for CPS. It's better that they they look as rough as they can to get the baby taken away. It's Sam and Steve. And that he had to get the receipt off of Google Images, get the receipt to protect her. And it was all about protecting her, and he would take the heat. He was going to take the heat and be the hero and for Amy. And the only thing he ever said to back that up was he gave the money. He gave the money back. He did say that the catfishing with Amy, that wasn't him. It was all fake. the vile things he said to Raina. And Katie, you're in here. I did want to apologize to you for that because I kind of went after you on a live because you were over. I can't remember what live you were on. I think it might have been Dennis's that you were saying that those receipts, I mean, the messages were true. And I was over in Coach's live calling you out saying, no, Katie, they were fake. They were fake. They weren't. And we had all thought they were. We kind of had dissected them and went through them. And so it's just stuff where I feel foolish. I feel like an idiot. I feel like it's just hard to wrap your brain around. And he threw us under the bus many, many times. That phone call he had with you, Katie, where I don't know if you knew he was being recorded or whatever. I mean, none of that matters. And he tossed us out the window then by saying, people are in my head. I'm hearing conflicting things, when we all had conversations with him about how he was going to go in a box with Dennis and be the stand-up guy that we all were believing that he was, encouraging him to be, and none of that happened. And we still just stood by and like, we still feel there's good in him. We will still ride this out with him. And it just wasn't the case. And I want to tell everybody, there's like a lot, but it's just kind of going fast in my head. But everybody that is with him, he doesn't give one shit. He doesn't care about Pooh Bear. He doesn't care about Kelly. He doesn't care about Rammer Jammer. He doesn't care about Samuel. He doesn't care about Rob. He doesn't care about Destiny. He doesn't care about Pegs. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. And he will toss out the ones that are truly good friends and gain new friends for his own gain. And he would try to say things and suggest things to try to break up the friendships I had formed with some of the ladies off the app, Ange, Bliss, Rain, and kind of say bizarre things in text to me, like Rain said, you're saying this, or so and so said, it just kind of or plant seeds of doubt amongst us and stuff. And but I guess that's all I can say right now. I'm just, this is just really hard. I feel absolutely like an idiot and like a fool. And I do apologize to anybody that I have personally hurt. If you've heard me say things in lives or whatever, because I was riding so hard for him. And I just, hopefully everyone can open their eyes and I don't know, not fall for people like I did, like I did so
Virgo,
hard for
do you have
Coach.
anything that you want to input? Oops, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm done.
Sorry, mine had timed out. I didn't know that you were still talking.
No,
It didn't
you're
even show
good.
you being lit up.
No, you're
But
good.
I was going to give Virgo the floor next.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I'm done. Virgo, it's all you.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that I truly haven't been anywhere near affected as you other ladies. I really just kind of came into all of this, and that I don't really care to address anything except for some of the things that were really just said tonight. That I have never asked, actually, that the only reason that I decided to step away from Coach was because that he didn't take accountability the other night when given the opportunity. When all of these people were standing there saying, hey, we'll still be here if you just admit it. Like, just tell the truth. It's okay. We'll still be here. When all of these hundreds of people, not hundreds, but there was like 100 people in there saying that. and you still just bold-faced lie, I can't do that. So if that's how you're gonna look me basically in the face and lie to me, then I have to step away at that point. It has nothing to do with who you have sitting in your box or who you choose to support. I've never asked anyone to choose a side in the drama bullshit that's going on. So let's get that narrative out the window. And as far as his narrative on giving him a list of who to block, that didn't happen. He asked me my advice, and I told him who I support and who I don't support, and then he gave me freedom. Everyone heard him say what he lets his mods do. So, I mean, let's be real here. It's very clear that he's very manipulative, and if you can't see that based on what these people some of these women have been with him for years, on and off. I don't know, man. I don't know what else there is to say. If you can't see that people are just trying to share their experience and make sure that you don't get your feelings hurt too, because honestly, my feelings are just real hurt. And honestly, I now have to apologize to Dennis. I don't want to apologize to Dennis. I stand on everything I said about Dennis, but I do apologize about the coach stuff because I was wrong. And when I'm wrong, I admit that I'm wrong. So I apologize, Dennis. That's really all I have to say.
All right, I got one more thing to say, and then I'm going to drop because I feel like it's put to bed. Coach is a real bitch. None of these people up here deserved what he did, deserved to be lied to. Nothing. Good people up here, all of them. Raina, Bliss, Marilyn, and Virgo. It's not about who was right, because it isn't about winning at all. It's about showing people who this guy is, and that's a win for everybody.
I do want to say, Coach, something very, very well. Florida Man, Raina, Marilyn, Bliss, Virgo, and I have become pretty close throughout all of this, and that has been amazing for me.
For sure. Raina, will you stay for a second? I think Samuel wants to ask you a question when he can get a box.
Yeah, I've been staying up here for when he can get up here.
Is Chief Petty Officer next?
I'm gonna drop too.
Yeah, they came up, so we'll let them go next, and then you can have the floor after that.
Yes, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh,
Chief Petty Officer, go
Hello?
ahead. Hold up. Let them do what they need to do. They were up here first.
All right, me first?
Go ahead.
Yeah, first and foremost, I'd like to, I'm getting an echo for some reason.
Yeah, you got an echo. You might have to jump down and come back.
All right.
Do you want me to go ahead while he drops?
You got right back. Go ahead. Ask your question, and then
Okay, Raina, you said that Coach never sent you any money or anything? Okay, so he has sent you money. Okay. I was just wondering because he told me that, and I was like, that was my only question. And I do want to say on what Marilyn was talking about him not giving a shit about people. like, okay, I just found out today, like, exactly how sick I was. I didn't let on that I was as sick as I was because I really didn't know. But I found out I had sepsis and it enlarged my heart. And I told coach today, I was like, dude, I haven't really been on. I ain't been talking to nobody. I've been trying to get better because I found out today what was wrong with me. I had sepsis and enlarged heart. And he wasn't like everybody else was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I hope you're getting better. He didn't even say shit. He just went on with what he was going with. So yeah, I really feel like he really don't give a shit about people. Marilyn hit that nail on the head.
He doesn't, and it's a really hard pill to swallow. It really, really.
There's a word for that. I know Marilyn at one point, when I had said something about, when I said verbatim, let's call it speculation that someone has this. Marilyn, you had said that you didn't want to be diagnosing people, and in the same sentence said that Dennis was a narcissist.
Yes.
So I just want to be right. So I think that there are some character traits here which speak to sociopathy and narcissism in dealing with Coach. And I'm not diagnosing, but I'm like you and I had a conversation. It screams sociopathy and narcissism. As far as Coach, I never cared about what Coach said about me because you have to think well of someone to care what their opinion is of you.
Wait a minute, Katie. When you're randomly just blurting out that I think someone has I think this person has a personality disorder, rather than which is what you said about Ange. I'm going to I disagree with you just randomly saying that. Now you can sit back and watch someone like Dennis, like Coach, and start and kind of tell pretty easily narcissistic traits are happening, because I've dealt with narcissism in my life. I can recognize it. And but you kind of, I don't know where you were going with Ange. There's no, Coach and Dennis put everything out there.
I wasn't saying anything bad about Ange. I was using it as an example from the conversation from that night. I don't have anything bad to say about Ange.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you that to me, that's two different things. When you have someone like Coach and Dennis that put everything out there, and it's pretty obvious some of the characteristics that you can pretty much pick that apart.
Yeah,
It'd be like if I'm putting.
The only reason I was bringing that up, Marilyn, is to remind of the conversation from that night. Not saying that she does. Not going there, not saying that she does. I have nothing bad to say about her. I have no.
And it's not a bad thing to have. Like, you have what you have. I have wonky brain chemicals, treatment-resistant depression.
Right, but
I have manic depression.
You would have to, but someone would have to show you who they are for you to even say something like that. Dennis and Coach has shown people who they are repeatedly, over and over and over and over and over and over again. So,
so back to what
But I understand what you're saying, Katie. I'm not this, it's an emotional night. I'm not meaning to come across all heated and stuff like that at you at all. I kind of had this feeling you were going to go there at some point and bring that up in some way, in some kind of conversation, and here we are. But I'm not trying to come at you and get onto you. It's just been an emotional night. I'm very wound up, and I want to make it clear to you that's not what I'm trying to do. So
I understand.
All right, can we hear what Chief has to say?
Okay.
Okay, hopefully that I do not have any echo going. I appreciate, first and foremost, I appreciate you allowing me to enter the live. I wanted to enter the live just to inform everyone, since I am a retired Navy Chief Petty Officer, an E7 of what it takes to become a Chief Petty Officer, a E7 in the Navy. I do recognize, and I have followed many of you folks who've seen me on your lives. This is the second time that I have went in a box, actually. But I have followed Dennis and the whole this and that all the way up through, so I'm very familiar with it, everything that's going on. But for me to get in the box tonight, I just wanted to let everyone here in the box know, because I am military, I am retired Navy, what it takes to be an E7. And Coach really rubbed me wrong when he told Dennis that he was retired E7. I am a retired E7, and I do have receipts. So what it takes to be an E7, I made E7 in the military, in the Navy, at 8 years, a little over 8 years. And that was very, very young. Normally it takes 9, 10, maybe 11 years to become an E7, just in the Navy. Now, also, one of my duty stations was at the Pentagon, where I was a reporter for the E7 selection board. E7s in the Navy hold a selection board, and what they do is they have to go through your record, screen all your accomplishments. You have to be on the good boys list all the way up through. No dings or nothing. You have to do correspondence courses, you have to do schooling, you have to improve your life over and over again just to be an E7. Very, very hard. Very, extremely hard to be an E7 in the Navy, at least. And as a reporter for the selection board, all the senior chiefs and master chiefs that they pick to select new chief petty officers sit down and go over everybody's record that was submitted. And they have numbers, you know, how many they'll allow to become E7s. And they scrupulously look at everyone's record and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And it's very, extremely hard to become an E7, at least in the Navy, okay? So I take it really, I mean, I agree with what Dennis says. He needs to come clean and apologize for that remark stating a stolen valor that he was an E7 in the military. Totally false. But I'm proven fact because I lived through it. I am an authentic retired E7. You can look at my TikTok video. I only got one up there. It shows all my medals and everything. So that's the only reason why I wanted to come on here, to let everyone know what it takes to become an E7. And he's a total liar, and he needs to apologize to everyone. And that's what I have to say.
Chief Petty Officer, I appreciate your input and I appreciate that information that you just put out there for all of us. I think we all learned something just now. And thank you for grabbing a box and explaining that to us. I greatly appreciate that. And I completely agree with what you're saying. I do feel that he should apologize. I don't like the fact that a lot of people were saying the other night that it's not that big of a deal. Who really cares about stolen valor? And I'll tell you who cares is people who are not stealing valor, who actually have valor. So that way of thinking, I would think that you might want to rethink your. That it's crazy to me that anyone would say, "Oh, it doesn't really matter." And I saw that comment going by quite a bit the other night when I was trying to point out, you know, that he had been lying to me in those comments or in our chat there.
Exactly.
Right, people that actually
I
serve, they do
appreciate
care.
I
And I
appreciate
appreciate
your
your
service.
service as well.
Well,
Chief Petty Officer, it does matter to people like my stepbrother, who's a Rear Admiral retired, to people who are Lieutenant Colonels who flew Apache helicopters. That matters to them. So I appreciate your service.
exactly, Katie. Thank you.
And I don't know if you guys I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I don't know if you guys were falling out of the boxes or jumping out on your own. If you accidentally got booted, please ask again. You're more than welcome to come back up.
So
If you don't want to, that's fine too. I totally get it.
I'll go ahead and drop out of the box, but I just wanted to let you folks know what it takes to be an E7, and I appreciate you letting me enter the box. This is the only second time that I've ever been in a box. Actually, the first time was I bought a wallet, online. That's the only time I ever
We
entered a
appreciate
box.
your input.
So, but you've seen me on on your lives and stuff. I don't say much, but that's who I
I
am,
have.
and I appreciate everyone.
Well, I
And
appreciate you.
I will drop off now and have a good evening.
You too. You
I
have a
wanted
good
to
night.
I wanted to speak to, this is the last thing that I'll say about Coach unless he wants to continue with the lies, but for me to be bothered by something that someone says to me means that I have to have an opinion. I have to care about their opinion. I have to care about who they are as a person. When I started with Scambusters, and I guess he was on vacation or for something a little while in the beginning, and he came back in. I didn't know that he'd been a part of Scambusters prior to when I found it, and there was concerning behavior there too. Previous to me being there, he wanted to make money off of Tiffany and Kevin. He tried to push for that with Dennis, and Dennis wasn't about to do that. So he took it upon himself to try to get Tiffany over there because that was one of his goals, was to try to get more information out there. So when he would play like, oh yeah, you guys don't bother him, he was going to do everything he could to try to benefit from Kevin and Tiffany's story. All of the rest of this, the things that he has lied about and we've brought out, a lot of us took a lot of heat, and that's okay because now it's all out there, right? Now, for someone like Coach to want to talk about someone else's vagina other than his wife, which he shouldn't even be talking about his wife's vagina, but to talk about someone's vagina and to attempt to body shame, when he was going hard for Raina about people body shaming Raina, and at the same time body shaming Raina, that's a really interesting thing. And Leper, I know that oh yeah, he did that. There's a clip. You didn't hear it? You didn't hear him talking about my meat flaps? Anyhow, now I've known about this meat flaps thing for at least a day because people were messaging me about it. Today's the day that I heard the clip. But Leper, you were as involved in that conversation, and not just in the box, but you are as responsible for that conversation as Coach is. You were also taking the information and going with it and turning that into, you were playing with Coach with that. So you are as responsible for Coach in body shaming a woman as he was. I'm not upset for myself. Mine is fantastic. However, there are women who are self-conscious about those things. And you have a wife, you have a daughter. I know that you don't, I believe that you are a sociopath, and I also believe that you're a narcissist. So none of this is going to matter to you. This is just about people making themselves feel better when they get to talk about stuff. But for any woman who may have certain feelings about their genitalia, and the fact that you have a wife and a daughter speaks volumes about you as a person, that you would say something like that. If we were in a room talking about your Jimmy Jean breakfast sausage, which I truly believe you probably have, because no man who could swing it around is going to be talking about women like that, I'm just here to say I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for your wife. I'm sorry that this is the influence that you have over children, yours and the ones that you coach, because you talk about bringing up young men. And if this is who you are as a person, it's disgusting. Now that won't bother you because you are unbothered by these things, which is why you have tried to get in between in people's relationships and make it look like you were setting things up so that you would have a fallback when this stuff happened. You say that you're going to go off TikTok. You will never go off TikTok. You know why? Because it's the only attention that you can get. That's it. This is where you find it. And that's why you're so upset. And that's why that's why you've done all this conniving and backstabbing and twisting, because you need things to fit to work for you. You are a sad, disgusting human being. And there's nothing that we can say that's going to make a difference. None of this will sink in, but you are a sad, disgusting little man. And I mean little. Have a good life, coach, until you want to bring up some more lies. And as Florida Man said, if you want to keep going after people, we can do this, because I will take it into real life. And everybody's hearing me say that right now. I will take it into real life. By the way, I also know where your wife works. That information was sent to me. I also know where you coach. I also know how to get a hold of the team. I also know how to file complaints against you with your business. So if you want to continue to fuck with me, we're going to do that. Ready? Because we can do it. Let's do it, coach. Let's do it. If you want to do it, I'm going to invite you to do it. Otherwise, leave my name out of your mouth, or we'll take it real life.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. She kind of threw me for a loop because
Yeah,
Katie's usually cool, calm, and collected, but
well, I know
that got
she's
under her
been
skin
through
today,
a
and I don't
lot.
blame her. I don't blame her.
No, I don't. I'm one of the most recent mods that came in, and I know, and Florida knows, we've been in there joking around for the longest time. And I even tried when Florida was calling him out on his stuff the first time. I was like, let Florida speak. Everybody in the box said, hey, we want to hear this. Coach was very upset, and I know he's probably listening. He's probably mad at me, and it's whatever. But today's evidence, this is what I've been waiting on. And I do have a couple of questions for Florida in a few minutes, in a few seconds. I'm not going to stay here too long. But as the most recent mod, I was in that room when the meat curtain thing came out. So I did hear that. So yes, it is true. If anybody has any doubts, I don't remember if I was in the box. I don't remember if I was just wandering around and just down in the comments. I don't remember, but I remember hearing it. I also was the mod in there trying to gain control of the chat after Florida had brought him out the first time. I think it was the next day, or it might have been 2 days later. I don't remember. I think it was 2 days, because I had talked to you here for the BS when you said things on Dennis's side was squashed. We were just going to leave it alone. But I know that Coach kind of kept talking about it here and there, and then he would quit. I was staying neutral because I like Florida. I like everybody that left. I didn't have a problem with anybody that left. I even made that very well known to Coach that I was not fence riding. And this in no way, shape, or form is jumping the fence. This has to do with straight facts that have come out more today. I seen, and I was hoping that I was willing to let the whole military thing go when Florida was in there. It wasn't going anywhere with them two. They were just going back and forth, and Coach was getting more agitated, and Florida was remaining calm. And that's usually the first sign. But I was hoping that maybe over time, after things had calmed down, that's a lot of heat, because I feel like the ego that Dennis was right is what's causing him not to admit to the whole military thing. Do you see what I'm saying? So I was hoping in time, maybe if the heat died down, maybe he would just say, hey, I screwed up. I was willing to forgive that. But what has
I
got
definitely
me
agree with
today?
you on that. I can see how that would have happened.
Yeah, so I was just like, I'm still neutral. I still like everybody. I'm not going to be back and forth. And I told him that I still liked Florida, and I was still going to continue to support him. And then I heard about this. I had been like gone most of the day doing Easter egg hunts. And so I've missed a lot of what's going on today. And then I heard in Coach's Live today that there was going to be a live done on him, which Florida said he would do. So I kind of was waiting on it, but never in my wildest dreams would I thought that I would have been that mod that was actually blocking people, that was doxing Rob's everything. That was totally disgusting. Because the simple fact remains, not only did it have his address in there, I blocked so many accounts that were coming in after Rob, and I was like, why? And I even think I said it in the live, why are they coming after you? You've not done anything. And he couldn't explain it either. But they put his ex-wife, that was the only one that I got screenshotted because I didn't think about it. I got that part screenshotted where he had a picture of his ex-wife and him as the photo. I don't remember what the name was. I could go back and look. I'm not willing to put that out there because, I mean, if he wants it, he can have it and do what he wants to do with it, but I'm not going to share it. But it was chaos in there. So I guess one of my other questions is, not only was I blocking those accounts that day, and you've stated that it was definitely Coach, what about the ones that were coming in that were attacking Coach? Because he was saying it was Dennis, and I even said, you can't blame Dennis because Here for the BS said that they were squashing it. I said, so you don't have any proof that that was actually Dennis. Now, Dennis can't control what his people do as far as making up screen names and stuff, but it doesn't make any sense as to why they would go after Rob. And sorry, I'm tired. My voice is cracky. Then there was other accounts that were coming in that was semi-doxing him. No, they weren't doxing him. They weren't doxing Coach. They were actually saying like vile things about it. And then I know everybody's question is, why was Chris in the box? If you don't know who Chris is, it's Chris Mosteller, Firewood Boy, you know, whatever you want to call him. SP does cover him, and he was in there, which was a shock to me. At first, I thought it was one of the accounts that covers him under the name Chris. That wasn't the case. He ended up in the box. I did not let him up. I'm going to make that very clear. I did not let him up in the box. I was completely shocked. I even told Chris that I didn't support what he did. I don't remember exact word for word what I said. But that I didn't agree with Chris. But I sat up in that box still, like I was dumbfounded that Chris was actually like 2 boxes below me and thinking, this is not good. We went from 27 people to over 200 people. And I know it's probably because a lot of them were covering him, but there were even vile comments coming in there that were stating like, hi, I'm Chris, I touch my kids. And
you don't think that that could have brought in some of the fake accounts that you saw later on, just the fact that he had been in that
No,
box over there?
that was in the middle of it. But that makes me wonder because as much as SP and the group, how we've split, at the end of the day, I don't think they would put anything like that in there. So even if they were to make a fake account to come in, I've
Right.
never seen them do
I
anything
don't
like
think that
that.
would happen either.
No, so that's what's making
You
me
do know
wonder.
why he let him in that box, don't you? He let him in there because he
Yeah,
likes to have 200 people in a room, and he can't get
I
that on his
didn't.
own. And I know that,
Yeah,
and I'll tell you how I know that. Because
I
at
know
one
that because
point
I've been there.
well, because Katie first, when she first came around, and they had, and got me over there. Coach apparently had been in one of Katie's lives, and he was like, said to Dennis, "Do you really want her? She only had like 7 people in her live." And that's why he wanted me over there because I could pull, 70, 80, 100 people in my live. And that's what he was about. And he, for some reason, thinks that like the amount of people that you have in your room during your live, like you're making money on that. Apparently, he doesn't know how TikTok works. You don't make any money off. Like, I don't care if you have 1,000 people in a room, that you aren't making money off that. They don't care.
No.
I mean, I guess you could if you were trying to get gifts or whatever. And that's never what I've ever been about. But yeah, that's what he was about. That attention, that clout. He's a clout chaser. Or I'm going to be blunt about it. That's exactly what it was. And that's why he put him in that box, because he knew who he was. And that got him all excited about, like, oh, look at all these people I'm going to have in here. And I don't think he understands also what comes with having hundreds of people in a room is you're going to find yourself getting trolled, especially when you bring somebody like that in there. And for him to sit there and talk about being anti-scam and anti this and anti that, to bring him in there, I think is insane, completely insane. And then to sit there and back it and say he's not doing anything wrong in here, well, he might have not been doing anything wrong when he was sitting in that box that day, but he does plenty wrong all the other time. And for him to
Yeah,
sit there and back that, I thought was insane, absolutely insane, over the top, crazy to me.
And I just
right.
And
wanted
I
then
to
for the
did.
state
other
too.
anti-scam people that he
Oh,
hangs
sorry.
out with, like, how are they supposed to answer to that? Like people like Virgo and one of them, like the other people who are anti-scam, how are you gonna how are you gonna be able to sit in a box with people who would put him in a box and act like he's okay? That's wild to me. Like at that point, I was like, I said when that was happening, I was like, I think I've entered the Twilight Zone. I don't know what's happening. This is crazy to me.
I was at a loss for words. It wasn't my platform, but I seen when I figured out he was really in there. I pulled up the the button because it said it had a request to come up in the box, and I sat there and I was like, "You are you kidding me? How did you even get in here?" Like, oh my gosh! So it freaked me out. But I guess I'm gonna try and cut this real short, real quick. But Florida, I do have one question. How did you? I know you tried to come out. I mean, it's probably word of mouth or whatever. I'm not even gonna ask. I don't even know. I don't even care at this point. I just want to thank you because so many other people could be hurt. And I'm really upset that Rob has had his back from every to the second this live went. And then you brought him in there. And I could hear the disappointment in Rob. And I just want everybody to make sure that you let Rob know that you do care because that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. So um I apologize to anybody that was blamed just on the behalf that I was in there that was blamed for any of those troll accounts. I can't remember who all was blamed, so I will apologize. I know Pegs, and Pegs was one of them too. And Donna, she's another one that has rode hard for him, and if she's still in here, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna tell you which way to go, but really look at the evidence because I think this is probably the most damning live for Coach. And I'm dumbfounded. I think what really caught me was Rob. Sorry.
And I just wanted to make a comment about the accounts is that he's been caught talking to himself in comments on his own videos. Obviously, we don't have the proof, but again, I wouldn't put it past him. So that was all I needed to say. Sorry, I'll drop again.
I guess if anybody has any questions that when I was in there, they can ask, but go ahead, one and only.
I thought
So,
you had some questions for me.
okay, so I got a message, Florida Man. I'll actually have to hit you up somehow on that. I got a message and it was speaking about Florida Man from Coach, and this was a few hours before this live.
I got it.
Huh? Okay. And I did not agree with him and I made it very clear, and he was trying to turn me against him. And it's for anybody that's in here and you think for 1 second he is not going to do the same thing to you. My response was, I am not getting in anybody's personal business. It is not my business. And that is whenever I said it. He said if I was going to be Florida Man's friend and his friend, that I needed to leave his platform. Well, before I could, the trash took itself out. Florida Man, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I've been waiting for this, all of these receipts to come out. I was very much fooled. I do feel like an idiot at the same time. It's something that, you learn from, but I'm just going to stress to all of you, he's going to do the same thing to you that he's done to every single one of us. Period. It's just going to happen. And to sit there and try to get me against somebody and then try to use what they said or what they did and how that happens is not okay. I don't care if I'm friends with somebody, and if you're friends with somebody and I don't like who you're friends with, doesn't mean that we can't, we couldn't associate. And after tonight
So
hearing
that
this, I mean, he told me that this live was going on. I didn't know. As everybody knows, I'm really sick right now and I've been sleeping all day. So I haven't been on TikTok to know what was going on. But I just wanted to really put that out there that with all of this and, just that simple, since I'm somebody else's friend and you're not on his side and you don't want to talk crap about somebody like he was, I immediately
the one
got
and
blocked.
one and only, is that what I got a message probably before this live, but I didn't open it. So the last part of it says something like, I would suggest anybody that, and all I got was FOL, but I haven't opened it. So I wonder if that's the same message that you got, because I've always said I was going to be Florida Man's friend.
Yeah, well, he mentioned something that Florida Man's put out, which is not my business to put out, but he put it out there and was like, what the F? And I'm sorry, but that's none of my business. That is Florida Man's business. That is his life. I am not for one bit going to say, oh my gosh, no, I don't like you. No, I'm not doing that. That's not who I am. It's not ever who I will be. And I just didn't think it was right. And it's not okay. And I just wanted to put this out there because I'm sure he's going to tell people all kinds of crazy stuff about me. And I have screenshots. I have receipts of that. I kept it.
Oh, is it about the child support?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not on child support. I didn't talk to Coach a couple hours ago. I don't have a single child support case out there. And I mean, I've said worse, but I just don't really pay for my kids. I mean, that's what it is.
I'll have
Yes,
to check my messages and see what
and
mine say.
and that is what that was about. And it was like he was trying to get me to go against you and talk about you. And I was like, that's Florida Man's personal business. That has nothing to do with me. And that made him mad.
I have no issue putting it out there because I'll tell you what, because ain't one of these lives ever happening about me. They ain't going to be, hours of video and screenshots and all that. Y'all might bring me up here for a fourth or fifth time and be like, why the hell did you say something stupid? But that's about it.
Well, I just didn't want to say it. That's not my business. And
Yeah,
I
you're
do
good.
owe Dennis an apology for Coach, and I will reach out to Dennis sometime or have somebody else, whatever. But other than that, that's all I had to say. Thank you guys for listening, Florida Man. Thank you again for all of the receipts. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, and that's just one of Coach's ways to try to manipulate people and try to get people to turn and all that. And it doesn't work on me because I'm not ashamed of anything that I do. And anybody can look at me any different way, but at least when you look at me, you know what you're looking at. And that's how everybody should be.
Right. And even if you didn't put it out there, he shouldn't be telling anybody else. That's like me. If I come to you personally and talk to you about something, you don't go to somebody else and then say something else. You don't tell nobody else. Like that's your personal business. Of course, I know you're pretty open and everything. And I really like you for that because you're straightforward like I am. But it just really bothered me that if he can do that to you, who else is he doing that to? Is he doing that behind my back now? Do you know what I mean?
Yep, nope, and that's why it should be out there. What he said, it was complete and total misinformation. He knew I had kids, but I didn't talk to him a couple hours ago. And no, there's no child support cases on me. I just
that was sent to me a couple of hours ago, right before this live, and I had just woke up.
Yep, and I'm sure he's going to do it to a lot of other people, and I'm sure he's going to try to spread misinformation about a lot of other people. And this is what I was talking about, Coach, and I know you're listening. And this is what Katie said. Exactly what she said. I will fucking take it to real life with your ass if you keep going.
And I want to just clarify in the beginning, when Florida Man did come out, he tried to be polite. He was very gentleman-like with Coach and was just like, I've done some pretty shady shit. I've owned up to my mistakes, but just be a man and admit stuff and just get it out of the way, and it's done. But it just went further, and that's something I didn't care for. In Florida, I really appreciate you taking time out to to get us all on the same page. This isn't fence hopping, and he can't say that it is. This is all. I mean, the receipts are there, plain and simple.
It's not just me. It's a team of people. Dennis was right about Coach. Dennis has been preaching it for a minute. I cannot take all the credit. I actually don't really well, I want to take all the heat from Coach, but I don't really think credit belongs to me. I think credit belongs to everybody who's willing to look at it and realize that he was lying the whole time.
Right. Well, you coming in there and being a friend and saying, and all of us are telling him he's being a friend, and who could call you out better than a friend? If I'm doing something wrong, I want my friend to come out and call me out on it. But not being able to admit it, it really disturbs me about the being in the military, the stolen valor, because my brother, my grandfather, which is my dad, were all in the military and they've all retired. And my brother actually retired medically discharged, for medical, really seriously. And that really just bugs me so bad.
I knew it. I knew Dennis was right. 2 weeks ago, Dennis posted a video, the same screenshot I posted, that he was a retired E7. I was like, oh, he got him. That's it. That's him. And I guess there wasn't enough context to it, or maybe people just had their blinders on and maybe just didn't want to listen to Dennis. Me and Dennis have squashed our beef. We're making steps towards being better people with each other. And, it's going good. I think it's going fantastic.
I didn't get to see that because I was in the comments defending Coach. So I got blocked, and I don't know how, because he said he doesn't block, but somebody blocked me. So if somebody could ask him to unblock me so I can at least apologize, I'd appreciate that. But that's why I haven't seen it. I'm not able to see anything on his page. If I did, that would have opened my eyes as well. Even whenever you coming in that day and you saying, well, I have plenty of proof, that right there just was kind of like, whoa.
Well, I wasn't going to drop it on him, and I wasn't going to approach him until I had concrete evidence that he was lying, until I had it, more than what Dennis had. And, it's what it is. I mean, I'm not going to approach anybody and come at him and say, hey, you're wrong. You preach all this accountability.
Yep.
And look what you're doing.
Definitely.
I was gonna say,
There's been a conversation going on in the comments here about the coach tried to say that Katie made Marilyn and Bliss my moderators, and I'm just gonna say, yeah, that couldn't happen. It didn't happen. Only I can make moderators, and I have the same ones over and over again, and that's bizarre, like crazy bizarre. Anyone who knows how TikTok works knows that no one else can do that but the person whose platform it is. So I just wanted to point that out because we were having the whole conversation down here in the comments. Crazy, but I'm sorry I interrupted. Go ahead, Leopard.
No. I gotta explain this. It was a message to me.
Okay.
And even then, I was like, he was trying to come between Marilyn Bliss and I to try to get me away from them evil girls. And I was even like, Katie? And he's like, well, she asked here for this to do this. And then he's like, we don't like them. And I'm like, well, sure, I don't know. It was just a crazy conversation. He was grasping at straws.
That's wild to me. And I don't make new moderators. I have had the same ones for honestly since I've been going live. People that have been with me through thick and thin, and I added one in Alley, and that's the most recent one. I mean, I stick with the same people.
The
They
whole
know
thing was
how I
funny to
work,
me.
and
I
they're
sent it
great
to
moderators,
everybody.
and I appreciate them. That's wild.
Well, I think the coolest thing that could come out of this is if everybody realizes that none of us are bound to one person. Just because you go over to someone else's live and listen to their side and get that perspective doesn't mean that they're against you. You got to let everybody see all sides of everything to make an informed decision. If someone's trying to stop you from going over there, I feel like they're hiding something.
And that's why I don't block hear what I have to say. I have no, and these people have been in these lives over and over again. So I don't know where he's been that he just noticed that, but they've been coming in here. I mean, surprise on him, I guess, right now. But yeah, they've been coming in here for the longest time. And I have no problems with any of these people. In fact, I mean, I speak to them when they come in. We all get along fabulously. So there's that.
I've been up here 3 times being called out for the stuff I said, and I still have nothing but respect for here for this. Gott's called me out on my stuff all the time too. Nothing but respect for him. Samantha, she's called me out. Nothing but respect for her. It is okay to be called out, because if someone's not calling me out, something's a little bit wrong.
Well, I had come over because Bliss was there, and I came over to support her.
You'd like to see his block list. It's got to be long. I'll say
You're
that.
right.
That's for sure. I'm sorry, Leopard. I interrupted you earlier, so go ahead.
I just want to say I'm sorry for if I offended any ladies with that whole Katie thing. I'm sorry, Miss Katie. I don't even know you. And sorry to Virgo and Florida Man for thinking you guys are the ones that doxed me.
Somebody might have been feeding it to you, but I knew that I had some circumstantial proof that might sway your opinion.
Yeah.
But
That's all I gotta say.
I completely accept it. You've been nothing but good to me, and I don't hold anything against you at all.
So no worries. I'm just sorry that you were the closest to him and that came upon like that. I care about you, and I really hope that, you can get through this. This is really awful.
Well, I'll get through it. I guess me and Coach gotta have a talk.
Well, and it's easy to get sucked in when you're in his boxes and stuff, and you can find yourself laughing at things you probably shouldn't, and joking along with things you probably shouldn't. I mean, I get that part. It's easy to get sucked into that without meaning to, or and not saying that that's not who you are. Like, it's easy to, does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I'm going to drop, I just wanted to say, because I forgot to say it. I don't know if I said it, but I can't believe I'm saying it. But I do apologize to Dennis, if you're listening, because everything you said that you tried so hard to prove was absolutely true about Coach. And I apologize for coming against you about that and writing so hard with Coach against you about those things. And if you're listening, I want to apologize. It doesn't mean I like you, but I'm just saying I want to apologize for that, because that was wrong and I feel foolish. So that's all.
I was gonna say, if I offended any women with the way I was acting in Coach's box, I'm sorry. I'm not like that. But yeah, me and Coach could have a talk. And
Rob, if you ever need anything, reach out to me.
I might need bail money, but it's cool.
You've seen how my talk went.
I'll start begging.
Oh, and I'm sorry for saying that about Virgo. The doxing me part, that's not what pissed me off. Whoever did it, when they brought my mom's name up, that crossed the line, and they will be dealt with. So
Any of your personal life was wrong. The whole thing was wrong. You were just sitting up there. Just sitting there. You weren't even really saying anything. So all aspects of it was totally wrong. All of it.
Yeah.
And it was a tough spot to be in too, because I mean, you guys were friends, and you didn't think he would do that to you. if
Yep.
he did it to you.
Well, I seen you showed him some proof, so I got some thinking to do.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the proof, Florida man, and to all the women, I'm sorry. Won't be the first time I've been on a cross. Uh, but I take responsibility for my shit. I'm up here to take it, so there you go. There's my apology.
I think that's
Peace.
what matters, honestly.
I'm like Florida man, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm going to say it. And I'm wrong, so I appreciate everybody. Appreciate the info, Florida man. And
Yeah.
to all the women, I'm sorry. Peace.
You'll see me around. It's all good.
Pegs, I guess you're the next. You're next. Go ahead.
I'm trying to keep it together. It's a lot of info for me. I'm just in shock. I don't know what to think or how to feel at the moment. Um, I was going to answer Mama Hook as she drops down, but that's okay. If anybody has anything to say, if I've ever done anything wrong, please let me know because I will apologize if I've ever offended anybody.
No.
I'm not sure if you had some questions about something you saw earlier. I heard you say something when you were up in one of his boxes about a live that Florida Man and I were in, and I have
Yeah,
no problem explaining that to you. I would prefer not to do it on this live because I've promised not to talk about certain people.
that's okay. Yeah.
But I have no problem. I mean, I'll have a phone call or whatever you want, and I'll fully
Well,
explain all of that.
I'm confused only because last time Florida Man was in Coach's box and they were battling out like two roosters in a hen house. Florida Man said he wasn't going to release Coach's information or some of it or part of it or whatever it was.
It was the
And
text messages.
yeah, so that's why I'm just like, I asked Coach today, I was like, what happened? Why? There's a live going on about you tonight. And some of it was repetitive, like the grocery thing and all that stuff that's been showed over and over. And, but would Florida Man put out some new info that I had no clue about? Like I said, I have a lot of thinking to do too, because I consider Coach my friend. I consider the one and only, perfectly imperfect, angel mama. You know, I have my ones that I really care and love for. Florida Man is also on that list, and so are you here for this, and so is God. But I just hate for everybody to fall apart over, but I see why. I do. Betrayal hurts. Betrayal hurts. And I just didn't know why the live was going on due to that because I was like, what the heck happened? And yeah, you can tell me later. That's fine.
I do want to clarify about the text messages. I started reading the text messages that he sent me, which what he was saying publicly was not what he was telling me privately, and I do have an issue with that because I want you to be real with me, whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me. I don't want you to lie to me just because you think you can.
Right.
But he's the one that said, "Oh, now you're bringing our text messages into it." You're absolutely right. I'm gonna call you out on anything that you say that's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think this could have been done without the text messages. Because there's just too many ways to cover it all up. So I appreciate you sharing the text messages and going back on what you said you were going to do, but in all honesty, it to make everything kind of come together, those text messages were pertinent.
Well, the only like text message between me and Coach that came out was in regards to Leopard and him
Right.
getting, and I felt like it was just a way too similar incident, and I had to show proof that it's been done before in the exact same way.
And I know that wasn't easy for you to do that to him.
Oh yeah, it was.
Well, you know what I mean.
No.
Florida man, no, you don't say that.
All of this was easy. I've known Coach was a piece of shit for months.
I'm not talking about Coach. About
What?
hurting people that were close.
Oh
Or
yeah,
believing
that
them.
stuff.
Yeah, I know you have some type of heart. Come on now.
For like all of you guys, yeah. But Coach, no, it was easy for me for Coach. Like he could jump up in a box now and I'd still be calling him out. He can jump up in a box now and come admit that he was wrong. He's not going to. But
No.
Why would he do that to someone that was... That's what upsets me the most, is why would he take it that far? To someone that's had his back to every second, including coming into this live. He had his back even in here. And knowing that he doxed him, knowing that he took his family and put it out there, like the one I have is of his the screenshot I have is one of his ex-wives and him. That is so wrong. He went to his Facebook in 30 seconds and took that and then posted it to get a rise. It's so unfair.
I'm just in shock over all this. I've done nothing but be nice to everybody and anybody, try to get everybody and anybody on the same page. And like I said, I'm in shock. It's a lot. I didn't answer you earlier, Mama Hook, because I'm not quite sure if I am okay.
I noticed that, and I'm sorry.
Honestly, it'd probably take a day to like digest what you just heard. I mean, and I expect that of a lot of people. Um, I've there's a lot of this that I have known. I just didn't have the absolute physical proof to show it, but I was around from the get-go, and I am very detail oriented. I remember almost every detail. And I heard even last night when he started talking about the grocery thing, the story changed because he said that Sam and Steven said that they were going to deny the groceries. That's why he didn't send them. Then it was Amy told him not to. Then it was him and Dennis had a fight. I mean, there's been so many stories about the same thing that, I mean, every time he would tell it, I'm like sitting there going, my God, this is a whole new story. This is yet another story and yet another story. Um, that's red flags for me immediately. And I knew what had happened because I was on the inside behind the scenes of all that. I wish I'd been there the day that they were planning it because I would have spoke up and been like, "Do not do this. It's a bad idea." But I wasn't, and I mean,
Well,
obviously it's a bad idea.
I am Pegs, and I'm sorry. If you ever want to talk offline about it, we can. But I am stepping back. I will no longer mod. I cannot
Yeah.
mod for somebody that's going to put people's families in danger, and I'm just disgusted in the whole thing because so many people are, I'm telling you, don't be doxing anymore. To want to run a live on how to dox people and this, that, and the other, and then to be hypocritical and dox people, especially the one that was closest to you, that's a shame. It's a big shame. And I always told him I would call him out on his bullshit, and now I'm calling you out on your bullshit, dude. Like, that is so wrong in every aspect, and it's not what you do. And I am not a Dennis fan. I do not like Dennis. I never have. But this isn't on Dennis. That's the end of it.
Well, I told Coach the other day, I don't know if you were in there, Mama Hook, or not, but I was like, I'm in here and I've been in your boxes a lot, and now you've made me a mod. I just made myself a target. So I'm probably next.
I'll back you up. I'll back you up if you need anything.
Marilyn,
Like,
did you see Marilyn's comment down there, Pegs? That coach does not like you. Trust me on that. Oh God. Yeah, he's good
oh
for that.
God.
He would be nice to me and then go behind my back and say stuff. Apparently he called me I hate to even say this word,
Uh-huh.
libtard. I don't agree with that word. I don't like the use of any form of the R word. But yeah, and then he would turn around and say, Dennis called me that. But then I'd see messages where he was calling me that. And it's just because I don't think like they do, or I'm a little bit more liberal than they are about certain things. Um, and apparently they were also incensed by the fact that I want them to treat other people with respect. So,
Right.
if that makes me a bad person, then I'll take that. I'll stand on that and go ahead, say whatever you want. I don't think that makes me a bad person for, thinking you shouldn't use the R word. You shouldn't use, the M word when referring to little people. You shouldn't, God, what else were they doing? Calling people illegal when they're actually undocumented. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of that kind of use. I think it's disrespectful to people. Like, there's no such thing as an illegal person. They may be undocumented, yes. And so when I would speak up about those things, I was looked at as this horrible liberal person. They didn't like
Right.
it. But I'll stand on what's right, and if somebody thinks that makes me a bad person, then I'll accept that. That's fine.
I feel the same way. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right and I get a little bit of heat for it, well, so be it.
Pegs, I'm gonna give you big hugs, virtual hugs. I'm gonna. I could tell. Well, when you get yourself together and then message me and we'll talk. Um, is that how you say her name? Marilyn?
Uh-huh.
Marilyn? Okay. I think you really should probably talk to her to find out what was said off here. That way, if it's an embarrassment to you, you don't have to have it blasted everywhere. But I'm gonna have to get down off the box. I didn't realize this live would be this long, but Florida Man, and to all the other people that have brought the awareness to this, you really deserve a pat on the back. This was probably not easy, and I had open eyes when you first came into that live the last time, Florida. I kept an open mind, and I'm glad I did.
I didn't get mad at.
Pegs, you just got a violation for something. Just jump down and come back up. I don't know who. This is for hate speech, which is crazy.
Oh God. Oh.
I didn't get mad at anybody that stayed over there after that because I didn't produce any receipts. It was just me going over there and confronting him, giving him an opportunity on his own platform to, surrounded by his own people in the most comfortable way he could on a private live too, and give him a chance to just do the right thing. Before I had to, after that, I was forced to do this. I mean, because Here for This went over. No, it wasn't on his private live. Here for This went over. He called her a liar. Then I jumped in and I'm like, okay, you're not gonna do that. Like we're
He
just
didn't
not gonna
even want
lie.
to let. He didn't even want to let you in the box.
He knew. He knew.
Oh, I know.
Hmm.
He knew. He knew what I was coming with because he knew he'd sent it to me. He knew it. And he'd seen it before because I had given it to someone else and they had given it to Dennis. And I told them they could. I mean, I'm not going to call that person out because I don't do that kind of stuff. But Pegs, just ask for the box again. I'll put you right back up. Um, he knew what
Hey,
it was going to
BS.
be.
I have a
Yeah.
question. I think you were up there at one point. I don't remember if it was that live or a different live, but you suddenly were dropped down. Was that you being kicked from the box, or did you drop from the box?
Yeah, he kicked me. He kicked me.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
One
if
of them
I'm going to
Just
kicked
leave,
you.
I'll be like,
clarify
I'm
that.
done. Thanks, bye, whatever. I wouldn't just like jump out of there.
I,
Right.
I
Well, I
would
knew
I would
face.
more put it. I would
Go
more
ahead.
put it. One of them kicked you.
Do
Maybe
what?
not specifically him. I said I would put it. One of them kicked you. Maybe not specifically him, but one of the people in there did block you from that live.
Oh, yeah,
It
they
was
did
not
because
me.
I was blocked. And here's the thing. you know why I don't block people? Because I know everybody's got a backup and they'll come back. And I did. I came back. He just didn't know that it was me. So go ahead. I mean, kick me out. I got other accounts. I'll come back. Of course, I have other accounts. I mean, I deal with people who are on here, lying and scamming for money. And whenever you call them out, guess what they do? They block you. So you have to be prepared for that. And yeah, I'm always prepared for that. So go ahead and block me and I'll come back and then you won't know who I am. I mean, I think it's a ridiculous thing to just block people out of the boxes,
Well,
especially when they're in a box.
speaking of that too, and speaking of like the Dennis situation and the coach situation and all that, I think honestly, anybody who sees this and anybody who watches this later off of a recording should take into consideration things are a lot better when we're not all bickering and fighting. Just get the fuck
Yeah.
over it, work it out. If you don't like each other, well, you're never gonna move
I mean,
on.
I went in respectful. I was respectful. I was like, this is what you sent me. This is what you said. Here's the proof of it. Because then he started yelling, show me a receipt. And I said, I have a receipt. Give me a big box.
Oh,
And
I
then,
know.
of course, after I
That's a blanket statement to everybody because there's a whole lot of it going on.
That's what opened my eyes, or on top of Florida coming in, he was like, just own up to it, be a man. But he was very heated from the get go. So, yeah, but I'm getting ready to drop down, but I was trying to clean up my phone because I have so much crap in it. And I did come across, 2 or 3 live clips that I took from Dennis's live where, it was Dennis and Coach was in the box and a couple other people. So I'm going to review those and make sure there's nothing that you guys wouldn't need
There's
as far
so
as
much.
voice wise.
There's so much that did not come out tonight. Like if we were here putting out everything, we would be here till 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, I can't do that.
yeah.
I have another Easter egg hunt to go to, so gotta
Yeah.
appease the kid. But I appreciate you all for doing what you did, and even though it hurt some of the people in here, it didn't hurt me quite as much, other than for Rob, because I know how much he had his back, and Pegs and everybody else. And I'm glad everybody kept an open mind. I think it helped that it came from Florida Man and what happened in the last live. But at this rate, if they leave Coach, he needs to know that this is not fence hopping. This was brought with receipts, and people don't want to be involved in that. People just want peace. So, anyway, thanks for letting me up in your box. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Night, Pegs.
Good night, and thank you.
You're welcome.
SC, I don't know who you are. You'd have to explain what you want a box for. I've never seen you in these lives, so it seems odd to me. Go ahead, Pegs. I'm sorry.
Why did I get violated again, if you don't mind me
It
asking?
said for hate speech. That's what my thing said. Did you get a thing that popped up on your screen, a little caution
I did,
symbol?
but I was crying and I was just like, whatever.
Oh, it said for hate speech, but you didn't say anything. I'll tell you what it is that somebody's probably reporting for no reason. That's why you'll often hear me say like tap the live and all that, because if I get reported, it'll take the whole thing down. But yeah, you didn't do anything. It's just the best thing to do is when you get one to jump out of a box and then come back, because if you get 2 of them in a row, you can get a banana then and
Okay.
lose your ability to get in a box.
And then I'm like
I was just
Florida
trying to
Man.
protect you by telling you.
Right. And if Raina's still in here, she's one of the ones that I just really have come to love and enjoy talking with and hanging out with. And I don't know if she was still in here or not. She might have left already, but yeah. You opened my eyes, and like I said, I have a lot to think about and to process, and this one hurts bad. Because
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
hey, it's okay.
Kind of like
It might have been that word. That's why I said I hate to say it. I hate repeating that kind of language, but I mean, I don't know any other way to put it out there. It might have been my fault. If so, I apologize.
I think, yeah, because mamahood, I just we're all just a good little pod, you know?
Yeah, you tried to, you were like, okay, said that wrong. Let's not talk about that. Just like I told him, I said he couldn't blame Dennis for things. We don't know. Unless you have proof, don't say it. I mean, but
Yeah,
it
we
seems like
did
it went
try.
on more. Yeah, it seems like it went more every day. I mean, there were just like little jabs here and there, and I would just dismiss it like, okay, well, you're gonna keep it going. But at the end of the
Did you ever
day,
notice though
it was
he
gonna
never
come out.
had proof? Like Coach never had proof for anything.
Well, the first I heard of it was when Florida came in, and I seen the proof when I went over to Dennis's live, and then, Dennis was kind of like trying to twist my words, and I was just on it. I was like, no, that's not what I said. Um, because I wasn't defending him. I wanted Florida to speak because if there's anything I've learned, if someone's coming with receipts and someone else is going just trying to talk over him, he immediately had a defense mechanism up. That's an issue. But I was still trying to help him work through that, at least for the sake of others as well. But I thought if that's the worst he's done, you know, but no, that's not the case, and it's unfortunate. But I'm going to say goodnight to everybody and thank you again. And I will probably see y'all later. I'll follow you around somewhere. Peg's
Okay.
message. I'll
Have a
message you
good night.
tomorrow.
Have a
You
good night.
too. Thanks.
Pegs,
Oops.
I wanted to offer to you that my DMs are always open. If you want to talk or whatever, just message me.
Oh, I'm
Um,
just too trusting and kind and caring and loving. That's one of my downfalls. That's why my
well, I tell you,
ex-husband's
I've
an
been
ex.
around this app and I've seen a lot of people and I've figured a lot of things out. So, like I said, they're open. I'll tell you one thing, I'm always going to be honest with it. If they ask me a question, even if I don't like, necessarily what the answer is, I'm going to be honest about it. That's for sure.
And that's how I am. It's just that I get to where like I'm attached. It's like, okay, you're my friend now. You're my friend now, you know?
I get that, but
And
I want to give everybody a piece of advice, including like just sit back and watch people for a minute before you like glob onto them because you never know. Like,
right.
watch somebody for a while and see what they're about and see how other people are interacting with them and absorb all of it and take all of it and process it yourself and like don't take other people. I tell people all the time, don't take my opinion on it. Don't, what I say about it. Like watch for yourself and see
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
people are about. Yeah, Katie's right. Trust your gut. Your gut will always lead you in the right direction. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had some gut feelings immediately when I first met him, just for some of the things he was saying about other people and things like that. And I tucked all that away in my little brain, and I was like, okay, remember this. And that's why I remember all these details about things because I was tucking all that away because I had a gut instinct feeling about it. I knew.
Uh, I'm also mad at myself. My ex-husband used to tell me all the time, you always get crapped on because you are too trusting. And it's always the good ones that get crapped on.
It is, and a lot of times you'll override your own instincts. So
Yep.
something tells you something's not right, and you're like, God, I shouldn't be thinking like that. I shouldn't assume that about somebody. I shouldn't, and you talk yourself out of it. But truth be told, listen to those little feelings, like they're right, and you're having them for a reason. You're not having them just because, for no reason. There's a reason you're having them. It's the overriding them that gets you every time. I know
I
I've been in that
know.
position. I've done it myself.
Me too, several times. But
Right.
thank you.
Big Bad Wolf made a good point. Like you might dislike Dennis, and so then you thought, I'm going to ride with this other person, not knowing that they were, maybe worse or just as bad or
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
And I'm not, and you guys know I've said all along, I'm not taking a side. And there was a reason I was saying that because I saw problems in both arenas.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm not up here defending Dennis. You guys, that's not true. I don't do that. But I knew I wasn't ever going to defend Coach either, for that matter. I mean, and I can be nice and cordial and I can get along with just about anybody because you guys have seen me do that with him. You absolutely have. I'm sure that will never happen again because he's probably, his head will pop off sideways if I even step into that room. Um, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I can be nice and cordial with someone that I totally disagree with and they disagree with me and we don't have one thing in common, but I can still get along with them.
What, Dennis's head will pop off if you go in?
Oh no, that coach's
Oh,
head would pop off sideways if I
oh, coach,
even
yeah.
'cause-
I started to say,
yeah.
I think, I have a lot of faith in Dennis to not only like with us make it better. I think he's learned a lot from the situation too. He's taken accountability, and
Oh, I absolutely agree with you.
I think he's going to try to better himself as well, as we all should.
Yep, I always say that. We have to be better and do better.
Well, I took your advice. I did.
I know I've seen you changing, and I'm very proud of you.
For the next 20 minutes.
Hey, don't ruin it.
Florida
Don't be
man,
a
Florida man.
bubble popper.
I'll tell you what, I used to not, me and Florida man, I think we had a mutual respect, but I'll say that we weren't friendly with each other. We didn't speak or anything, but he's progressed a long way. And if I can say anything, I will say he takes accountability for his bullshit. And if you tell him that he has some bullshit, he's fine with that. He doesn't hold it against you. So I give credit for that. I mean, I absolutely do. And I mean, hell, I called on him today to help me with a situation. So, there's that. I didn't think I would ever see the day that that would come.
Oh, I'm
And
sure there's
he
going to be a
handled
day
that
I'm going to need
situation.
him.
It was a situation that you rolled up in, as a matter of fact. And like I said, I didn't think there'd ever be a day. And guess what? He handled that situation better than I did. I got a little hot-headed. I mean, I had more history with the situation than he did, so I guess he was, and that's kind of why I called on him because I knew he would be better to go into that than anyone else that had a history with it because they would be just as heated as I was.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
I
trust
mean,
Florida man.
I thank him for that. I'll publicly thank him right now up here for, that was what he did was very helpful today.
You ain't got to. If anybody needs help with an issue, they can just kind of reach out as long as it's not like super wild or anything. Well,
Well, and the
not
thing I do know about him though is if it goes too far, he'll also go real low, real fast. And I was down for that in this situation if it had to be that. So, and that was the other reason I called on him. Not gonna
yeah.
lie, I knew what I was dealing with. I knew exactly what I was asking for.
And if anyone asks me for help, do know I will try my best to settle the situation. But if it goes downhill, I mean, below the belt isn't even the word for it.
Right.
I'm glad you guys feel that I'll say that at least I've seen that in every one of these situations. Um, when we had the dentist situation go on and we thought this was like, oh, this is awful. But I met some good people there. I met Allie, I met Katie. Um, I'm probably missing a couple people that I can't think of right now, but Florida man, I mean, I met quite a few people during that situation that ended up, that were still good. And I'm thankful for that. And that situation brought that to me. This situation, I mean, I've met these other people and I mean, and hopefully we'll, continue to talk and carry on and what have you. I mean, all these situations, something good usually does come out of it, if nothing else. You met some good people.
Most definitely. Most definitely. But I'm going to drop. I'm going to Rammer's on, so I'm going to go listen to her for a little bit before I go to bed.
You have a
But
good night.
thank
Have a
you
good night.
guys.
Yep.
And then there was the two that started it all.
I know, right?
Here we sit. I guess we're gonna call it a night unless you got something else to say. If you do, I mean, definitely you
No,
can
I
say
mean, I
it.
think I pretty much said everything. I mean, other people can use it as an example. Use me and Dennis as an example. We went hard at each other, but we worked through it. So it doesn't matter how hard you go at each other. You can either not associate or work through it. One of the two. Ain't no sense in like dropping addresses and doing all that crazy stuff. I say that and somebody's going to piss me off in 2 hours and I'm just going to tell them something, but who knows?
Thank you, Kirsten. I appreciate everybody that's in here tonight. I appreciate
Yeah.
everybody coming in with an open mind and listening and taking the information and figuring it out for yourself. I mean, I think that's the best way to deal with things, Show people what you have and let them discern for themselves what how they feel about it. I mean, and you did a good job tonight.
Oh,
I appreciate
I am not a public speaker.
well, I can be, but when I'm off the cuff, sometimes I think I stammer a little bit and search for words, but I try. I mean, I should be used to it now. I've been doing it for a long time. I hope everybody has a good night, and hopefully we'll all meet back here under different circumstances and maybe have a better conversation. I agree, Florida Man did great, especially since he feels this isn't his bag, but maybe it is, and you don't know it.
No, I think I belong on the other side of it. I more enjoy being the one up here being roasted.
Oh God, you really don't. You don't. But have a good night. I'll see y'all later. Be good. Try to be nice.
I'll attempt it. All right, you guys have a good night.